Hi guys, happy Monday. It's Mandala Monday. Welcome. My name is Rita Panula. I am the design director at ImpressArt, and I am coming to you from my home studio because we are out of Long Island, New York, so we're still sheltering in place here. So today we are going to be making some mandala earrings using those beautiful semi-precious stone chips that we debuted on Friday's live. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that live, you could always catch it on replay. So I'm going to show you today how to stamp on a washer. You don't necessarily need your sticker guides to do that, and I'm going to show you a couple of tricks. We did touch the waters a little bit last time we had Mandala Monday about how to use our stamps and not get a complete full impression, but leaving maybe the top half of the stamp off your blank or the bottom half. So I'm going to show you today on a washer how you can give your mandala stamps a completely different look just by using the top half of your stamp or the lower part of your stamp. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to use those fancy semi-precious stone chips. Okay, so Shelly, you're having problems with mandalas big time. So this is a way to do mandalas that you don't need stickers. And if you're only getting half impression or you're a little all over the place, this is a way that I'm going to teach you how you could still use your mandala stamps, even if they're not perfect. Remember, this is hand stamping. It's done by hand, guys. It's not supposed to be perfect, or it would be, what would it be? It would be engraving. It would be done on a laser. So keep that in mind when you're stamping. It doesn't need to be perfect. Without further ado, guys, I'm gonna bring you over to my bench and we're gonna work with a mixture of the henna mandala pack and a couple of little, I'm gonna grab a couple from different mandala packs to show you how you could just embellish a little bit. So let me just show you. Hi, Mary Joyce. So these are the mandala earrings that, they might be a little blurry. I'm gonna take you over to my bench to show you. But these are something that I made. We are gonna utilize our gold enamel marker today. So if you missed our live on Friday, we did a necklace utilizing all of these beautifully wire wrapped semi-precious chips. Okay, so they come in packs of 12. How beautiful are those? It really takes that wire. Have to tell you guys, not good at wire wrapping. I leave that to my other artist friends to wire wrap. But you know, I do my best. But these already come beautifully wrapped in wire for you guys, all ready to go. So this is super easy for any of your Stamp and Go projects. We have garnet, citrine, peridot. We have lapis lazuli, amethyst, goldstone, onyx, blue topaz, red coral, a flower agate, and a jade. How beautiful are those? They just add a little something to anything that you're stamping, whether it's a necklace or a bracelet. Today we're going to be utilizing these in a pair of earrings. So these are absolutely stunning. Okay, so we did a really nice necklace with these yesterday. If you want to watch it on, not yesterday, Friday, if you want to watch it on the replay, you can. It's available both on YouTube and Facebook. All right, so we're going to start. So let me show you the earrings, the sample earrings that I made, just so we could walk through them. Okay, so what I did here was I didn't use my screw hole punch, but today when we do a project live together, I'm going to use my screw hole punch. Okay, and this is with the labradorite. How beautiful, they're stunning. And just with a simple copper jump ring. So if you don't have a screw hole punch or a hole punch, guys, at home, not only do I want you to buy the hole punch, but I want you to see that you could totally make earrings without piercing holes, okay, just by adding larger jump rings. All right. So if you noticed, our mandala stamps aren't exactly full impressions. Okay. I know, Christina, I love the mixed metals also. So yes, so these are Alchemy washers. We have them available in the brass, the copper. They are really soft. They are nice to work with. They leave a beautiful impression in the metal. So that's why I prefer Alchemy. That's just, you know, personal preference. If you're beginning, I definitely think that, and they hang so nicely. Look how nice that is. If you're a beginner, I would really practice on aluminum. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work. So now these come in different sizes. I'm going to backtrack. So they come in, this is the largest size. Now, if I was making them for me, I definitely go with a larger size washer because I like all things big. Okay, this is the small size washer that we have. Okay, so that's 1 inch. This is 1.25 inches. Okay, I am going to work with the inch, actually no, these are 1.25 inches. So you could see the sizes. And that is 1.5 inches. So with 1.5 inches, 1 inch, 1.25 inches. I'm going to work with the 1.25 inches. I feel like they're just really nice and big. Yes, and the large looks good for a pendant also, definitely. All right, guys, so I am going to, with these, I just used the jump ring. I didn't pierce any holes, but I'm going to definitely pierce holes in this project today. So we're kind of just going to go with that. We're going to use the henna mandala pack. Okay, so we're going to utilize the big 9.5 stamp in there, and I'm going to incorporate some other stamps from that design pack, that mandala design pack, and some from the Southwest pack. So it's going to be a mix. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark down where I want my holes. Okay, so I am just going to eyeball it. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up, find my center. I'm gonna come in with my screw hole punch, and I'm gonna bring this down. I'm going to find my hole. Come down with my hole punch. And the metal's so soft, guys. It cuts right through it just like butter. You don't have to worry about any kind of marring in the back. It's perfect. Now I'm just gonna fix my holes a little bit. Like I said before, it's a little challenging when you are stamping with a phone in front of you. So I'm going to do my best here. Hi, Gail. Let's see. Jacqueline, it really depends on your personal preference. I like bigger earrings, but I also like them light. So I tend to use the softer metals as a base. And then I mix my metals. So I'll use maybe like, I'll use an alchemy washer and I'll mix either gold or silver jump rings just to bring in that mixed metal look. You hear my birds tweeting in the background. They are loud today. I think there is actually a nest in the tree outside my window. So either that or it's my washing machine. I'm trying to multitask today. So guys, what you want to do next is I would come in and just take your stamp straight tape and tape it onto your block. So let me grab some tape just so it doesn't bounce when you're stamping. And then you're gonna really go about how you want to design your piece. So I am gonna take just a scrap before I start my earring. I'm gonna take a scrap piece, okay? And I'm gonna see what I like better. So with the sample earrings that I have here, I really utilize the middle part of that stamp, okay? What I'm gonna do today is I'm really gonna try to get that bottom half in there. So I'm gonna make sure that I line up the bottom circumference of my stamp with the edge of my metal. Does everybody see that? And I'm gonna take my hammer and I'm gonna do a little bit of a tilt and tap, just so my impression is nice and even on all four sides. So do you see, guys? I have my full impression here. So I'm really following the curvature of my metal and lining it up with the bottom of my blank, okay? I'm gonna leave the tape off for this demo only because it's easier for you guys to see with this camera angle with no tape on it, okay? So then I'm gonna continue. I kind of like that, so I'm gonna leave it. So I'm going to do my entire round piece utilizing the bottom half. And when I say the bottom half, I've lined up the curvature of my stamp with the curvature of the hole. Do you see how I have half of my stamp hanging off the metal? It's okay to use that. It's okay to get half impressions. Now, if I wanted to do it another way, and I wanted the top half of that design, I would just do the same thing. I would line that up with the edge of my metal, okay? A little tilt and tap. And then I would have the top piece, okay? So I am going to start, and I think I might even alternate them. I think alternating is exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to start right in my center, and I think I'm going to use the top half of my stamp. And there I have it, okay? So now the next part, I'm gonna utilize, I want the bottom half of that stamp. So again, I'm lining that up, and I'm tilting and tapping it. Do we see that? Okay. And again, I'm gonna turn it around. Now I'm keeping in mind that, see the side for spacing? The exact way how I did this. So I came in, okay? And I'm covering half. Do we see right there? That part right over there? The circumference of the side of my stamp is lined up to my next impression. So I'm gonna do the same thing just like here, okay? I'm gonna line it up to the bottom and right next to it. And there I go, okay? So guys, when you're stamping, just be mindful of your spacing. Be mindful as to what position your stamp was in, okay? Do you see how that's covering part of it, part of my mandala pattern? So now right here, with my bottom, I'm going to do the same with the last impression I left. I'm gonna line that up at the circumference of it. There we go, okay? And then I'm going to come in, covering that. Now with these washers, they do get a little wonky because they are soft, okay? What you're gonna wanna do is you're going to want to come in especially with that hole, because you're not only you're forging holes in it, but you want to come in with your let me bring this up a little, let me bring this up a little bit. You're gonna come in with your multifunction hammer with the nylon head, okay? You're gonna tighten your bottom. You're gonna flip it over. And you're just gonna give it a little tap. Do you see how that goes right back in? Okay? Right back into place. Just little taps. Nothing too aggressive. Jacqueline, you really don't need to, in order to do a design, you don't have a mandala pack at home right now. By all means, you could go and buy a mandala pack, but you could use your alphabets. Utilize your V's, utilize your O's, your S's, turn your stamps different ways. There's plenty of ways to do a mandala pattern with your font sets. Also, don't forget that with your uppercase font sets from ImpressArt, they come with 6 design stamps. So you could definitely do any kind of repetitive pattern with design stamps that you have currently at your house. So then I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna cover part of my last impression and the bottom. And then here. Hi, Carly. Yes, I could do definitely. You know what? Next Monday we'll do, since Mondays are for mandalas. Well, actually, next Monday is Memorial Day, so we don't have a live. But I will definitely get that on the calendar for you guys. Carly, that's a good suggestion. Thank you for that. Also, guys, if you're looking for a list of the lives and what we're going to be demoing, you definitely want to go to ImpressArt.com and sign up for our newsletter. That goes out on Monday mornings, and it's super informative. All right. So I'm gonna come back in. Just like that. So now I'm gonna fill in. Give it a couple little taps. And I'm going to start to fill in my mandala patterns. So right in the center, anywhere where I have space is where I'm going to stamp. So I am going to start right here, okay, right in the middle of that henna, the large henna. I'm going to come in with the flame stamp. I like to call it a flame stamp. So I am going to put that right here. Now utilize, guys, I'm utilizing again the top half of my stamp. And I'll show you from the side of what I'm talking about. Do you see how the bottom half is hanging off? And I'm just, like I said, little tilt and tap. And you get that impression right in that center. Shelly, it definitely wouldn't look weird to use your Celtic stamps with other mandala stamps. I literally mix all of my packs, and I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes how I do that. I'm going to come in the center right here. Okay, so those are super cute. Now, keep in mind that when you're utilizing half your stamps, sometimes you get, see that bump? Your edges get a little bit worn because you're pressing metal and you get a little bit of a jagged edge. So I told you when you're doing bracelets like that and you get that jagged edge, you could use the chasing head. So unfortunately, because this is round, you can't use a chasing head. So what I suggest using is, and look at you guys, I am pulling out a new block today. Okay, so this is the standing block. And when you are taking care of the bumps and your edges, you're going to use the coarse. When you are matting a piece, you're going to use the medium, okay? So I'm going to take my coarse side and I'm just going to knock down my edges. See how easy that is and how fast how great is that? Let me see if I can get that into focus for you guys. All right, so we go from, let me get you a bump. We go from a bump like this, okay? Couple of passes over it, and now you don't have that. Do you see how nice and soft that is? Okay, and you can continue to use it. So I'm going to go all around and just make sure that I'm nice and sanded around my disc. I like it because it gives it that organic look. Okay, so there we go. So I now have the insides of my stamp. I'm going to come in now and I'm going to use, this is from Mandala Pack 3, okay? And I'm just going to utilize it in between. And since I'm doing the ends, see the very ends that I'm using? I'm just going to give it one tap. I'm going to work all around my earring. Just like that. So do you see how I have just half of that stamp? Just really kissing the bottom, the inside of my earring. Then I'm going to come back. Let's see what else I could use. And I am going to utilize, I know what I want. And here it is. So this is from Mandala Pack. This is the Southwest Mandala Pack. Right here. And I am going to come through. I'm going to use the center line that I've drawn on my stamp. I'm just going to meet that up. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a hit. Right where I see empty space. And there we go. All right, so after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my enamel marker and I'm going to use the gold and I'm going to color in my impressions. I'm going to run it over. Now, what I like about the gold on the silver is that it gives it just a little bit of color and it looks really nice with the citrine semi-precious stones that I'm going to use today, or chips. let that dry for a couple of minutes, seconds actually. And now what's great about these enamel markers, guys, is that, you know, you could have it light or you could definitely have it darker. It really depends on your personal preference. Okay, you could come back in. I'm going to lightly wipe it, dab it, lightly wipe. Do you see how it just adds that color? It really looks, I love how this looks on there. Erica, I use the enamel marker and then I even toss it into my tumbler and the enamel doesn't come out. So. Okay, so here, see how it just gives it that little, a really pretty look. Very subtle. So I'm gonna come back in and do another coat just because I want it. I want it kind of darker. So I'm gonna come back in. What's nice about this gold enamel marker is that it looks like gold flake inside of the impressions. Now you could also come in and use maybe a different color enamel on the insides of these mandala patterns, but I'm gonna keep it only because I'm using citrine today and I love the contrast of the mixed metals and the gold and the silver, that I am going to keep it two-tone today. The thing with clear coat, Erin, is that clear coat over any kind of metal eventually does start peeling and flaking off. I'm not a big believer in clear coat. You know, guys, if you're selling your jewelry, okay, you should always make sure to put care instructions in it, you know, in with your jewelry. Like, you know, it's, please don't wear in salt water. Because remember, you're working in raw metals. So you always want to watch out for that. Also, if you are interested in reselling or starting a little side hustle, or you're already doing it and you want to talk shop with Jen and I, definitely let us know. You could send us a direct message on Instagram or Facebook and we will put you on a list. So when we start our business class, we're going to start a little business group. We could include you on that mailing list. So Jen, I use the henna mandala pack with with one from the Southwest pack. So, and we sell the washers for the earrings. So Jen will post that link at the bottom. So now we're going to start with our jump rings. So I'm going to use gold jump rings. Okay. And some make your holes and then you start stamping. You stamp over and your hole gets a little tight. Okay. So all you're going to have to do is pierce those holes again, or you might not have to depending on the size of your jump ring. I'm going with a smaller gauge earring. So Maureen, these are our artisan jump rings. Let's see if I could get away with just putting the jump rings through and not screwing it down. And then I'll show you how to come back through. So I'm going to put my jump ring on. Let's see. Okay, so this is perfect that this happened. So when you poke your holes through first and then you stamp after, you might have a hole that closes up a little bit, because remember, when you're forging your stamps into your metal, it's kind of closing those holes that we just punched, okay? Especially on a soft metal. So what you could do is just bring your screw down hole punch back in. And you can go right through them again. You see how quick that is? Let me bring this up a little bit. I'm not even screwing it down all the way, and it leaves a nice hole again. So I'm going to come back in. Screw down. Come back in. So the jump rings, ladies and gentlemen, are 6-inch. What I have on the sample earrings that I showed you before, those copper jump rings are 8. Okay, so now I've punched my holes through again. I'm going to take my jump ring, put that right through, and I like multiple. You could either hang 1. I'm going to hang 2 on each jump ring, only because I really like those dangles on the bottom. How nice is that? And the citrine, guys, just complements the tones on that metal. Do you use the polishing block before or after you use the marker? So you could use it, as long as your enamel's dry, Barbara, you could use it after to polish it up. So I believe my enamel's dry. I'm going to take my buffing. So I'm going to go with my super fine. I'm going to go with my fine and then my super fine. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to go over it. And you could see the difference between this part and this part that I didn't. So you can do it before you put your jump rings on, definitely. Okay, I'm going to come in with my second. And I'm going to twist. You definitely, when you're using jump rings, you want to use 2 chain nose pliers and you want to twist. You definitely don't want to pull apart because you compromise that metal. And if you're working with jump rings that are plated, you're going to see that if you pull them apart, you are going to pull apart that coating and you will see the base of your metal. Okay. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to hang 2 more. Now on the earrings that I did with the labradorite, right here, guys, okay, I hung 3 pieces on each, only because I love them chunky. So today I'm just going to put 2 on. Okay, look how pretty that looks. Take another jump ring. I'm going to twist. And then put 2 on. Here's my first. Here's my second. And I'm going to close just like that. How pretty are these? I could have definitely gone with three. Three more of those. You know what? I'm going to play around. Let's get some goldstone out. Because I think those chips will complement it nicely also. So these are the goldstone. And I'm just going to add it to the back. Just because the citrine's a little light. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to open it. And I'm just going to add one nice chunk to the back of that design. So when the sun comes through them and I'm wearing them, you'll see that. And I think that just looks so much nicer. Okay, all that sparkle. Coming right in there. Close that up. Open that up. And there we go. I just think these look so pretty. Okay, so when they move, they'll swing back and forth. You know, and with your mandala earrings, feel free to not color them in at all. Okay, so what I'm working with today is the 1 1/4. Okay, these right here are the 1-inch circles, the washers, and we do have them, if you're looking online, we do have them in a larger size. So this is 1 1/2. Yes, Camille, we do. We definitely go to Tucson every year. Not sure about this year, but I'm at the Casino del Sol usually. So right, Barbara, the goldstone just gives it a little bit of a pop in the back. And I think it really shows that citrine a little bit more with that color and that crystal in the back. That, you know, so goldstone, guys, is definitely, it's got a lot of sparkle to it. Do you see that? All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 4mm washer. Not a washer. Somebody correct me. A jump ring. And I'm going to come right. I'm going to use a smaller size. I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to come in. Now, you could hang some crystals from it. Definitely. I'm going to open up my gold jump ring. And I think I'm going to hang a couple of citrine from the center. Let's see how nice two looks. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one, okay? Then I'm going to go right through my smaller jump ring on my earring, and I'm going to come back on the other side with another crystal, okay? You could do that. You could hang it from the center. To be honest with you, I am not liking the crystals on each side of that. You could definitely come in and hang one from the center if you wanted to, but I kind of like them just like this. So I'm going to close my jump ring, okay, just so they sit nicely on the ears. And I'm going to come in with my earring wire. And I'm just going to pinch it closed at the ball, just like that. And here, let me move this over so you guys could see this better. Smooth that. Perfect. So here you have, I mean, look how pretty that looks. Like, it looks like a flame. Reminds me very much of a phoenix. I don't know why. We should have put some red tones in there, maybe some red coral if we wanted to. But look how pretty that looks. And look at all of that mandala detail in there with that gold marker. Yeah, so guys, I mean, me and Jen love seeing you guys be inspired by these lives. Keep sending us your pictures. We love to see what you're working on. We got a beautiful entry this morning from one of you lovely ladies that was really, really touching. And we appreciate it. Jen and I do read the messages on Facebook. Okay. So we are reading them. Sometimes, you know, it takes us a little bit longer to answer you guys, but we really appreciate all of the feedback and letting us see what you're creating from what we're making on the lives. I love that. Fire opal would look amazing as well, Fleur. Yes, definitely. So definitely, guys, you know, and you could take a bracelet blank too and practice hanging, you know, only focusing on the bottom of your stamp, only focusing on the top of your stamp. You know, it doesn't have to be a complete design. Yes, you can definitely do that. You could definitely hang a jump ring, Gail, and definitely hang one more stone. That would look really nice. Right from the center. That would look really pretty. You could also, if you're not into stamping the mandalas, guys, take your texture hammer to it. Your texture hammer looks beautiful on these washers. Okay? So, there you have it. So if you have any questions on these semi-precious chips, we did do a live on Friday. And also, guys, exactly what we did, we hung a bunch of chain. We hung a bunch of crystals from chain on Friday. How about that as just an earring? You know? Or maybe a small cluster of them from the center of the jump ring. I mean, these are really, really endless. Really endless. So, Cynthia, we used the henna mandala pack. Okay, I only used half of it, so I utilized the henna mandala stamp, and I utilized from that same pack, we utilized a small flame. And from the Southwest pack, Southwest mandala, I use that little flourish. The henna mandala pack is a fantastic pack to use. And remember, guys, like I said before, if you don't right now, if you're feeling inspired and you don't have that mandala pack handy, utilize your O's, your U's, okay, your L's, your S's. Turn them different ways from your font sets and create a mandala. You could start with an O in the center and then branch out. You could use your U's, you could use your S's, you could use your W's. There are tons of ways to create a mandala if you don't have those mandala packs. So definitely start stamping. Let us see what you're doing. We love to see what you guys are making. And remember, if you haven't watched the replay of Friday, definitely do it. It won't disappoint. And we are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday at 1 o'clock with a new show every time you tune in. So I'll give you a little, we're talking crafts on Wednesday. We're going to do a little bit of barbecue Memorial Day inspiration. So I'm going to show you how to use some jewelry blanks to make some eating utensils for some corn. We're gonna do some popsicle sticks. We are going to do some martini stirrers if that's what you wanna do for the weekend. So we are definitely going to craft it up on Wednesday. So don't forget, 1 o'clock. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Bye, guys.